Assalamu alaikum, dear students. In the last class, we were discussing Landscape of the Soul, written by Nathali Roy. In this lesson, this is actually the lesson. In this lesson, Nathali Roy, the author, describes and compares two different varieties of paintings. One a Chinese painting and a European painting. Since she is a uh, historian, art historian, she describes and draws the conclusion between these historical paintings. We discussed the painting done by a Chinese painter Wu Dozai on the directions of the Tang Emperor Zhuangzong, and another painting painted this Quentin Matisses. A classical Chinese landscape is not meant to reproduce an actual view. In this Chinese painting, this is not the actual view of the world as would a Western figurative painting. Figurative painting means an art derived from the real objects related with the real world. Whereas the European painter wants you to borrow his eyes and look at a particular landscape exactly as he saw it, from a specific angle. The European painter draws your attention towards his painting from the actual world, while as the Chinese painter does not choose a single viewpoint. His landscape is not a real one, and you can enter it from any point then travel in it. While as in Chinese painting, you can view it from many angles, and this is not related with the real world. This is an abstract painting. You have utilizing your mind, you have to view it and draw conclusion from your own point of view. The artist creates a path for your eyes to travel up and down, then back again in a leisurely movement. This is even more true in the case of horizontal scroll. The author says that, Nathaniel Troy says that you can view the painting, you can travel in it, and that means you can feel the painting with your mind, not with your only with your eyes, in a leisurely, in a relaxed manner. Leisurely means relaxed manner. This is even more true in the case of horizontal scroll. Sometimes there are horizontal scrolls. आप ऐसे मान लीजिए कि जब हम कोई पेपर का फोल्ड खोलते हैं, दिस इज द हॉरिजॉन्टल स्क्रॉल. जहाँ जितना जितना फोल्ड खुलता जाएगा उतना उतना पेंटिंग आपको दिखाई जाएगी. तो इसी तरह इन द सेम हैपन्स विद द horizontal scroll, in which the action of slowly opening one section of the painting, then rolling it up to move on the other, so adds a dimension of time which is unknown in any other form of painting. This condition it is lacking in other sorts of paintings. It also requires the active participation of the viewer, who decides at what place he will travel through the painting. But for this painting, the participation of the viewer is essential. He has to view the painting, he has to feel the painting. A participation which is physical as well as mental. For this Chinese painting, the participation of the viewer, physical as well as mental, is essential. He has to feel at the level of his mind. The Chinese painter does not want you to borrow his eyes. The Chinese painter does not want you to just look at this figurative painting as is done in the European painting. He wants you to enter his mind. The landscape is an inner one, a spiritual and conceptual space. Conceptual space, it is a painting related with the abstract world, abstract idea. This concept is expressed as Shen Shui. In China, this concept is expressed as Shen Shui, literally mountain water, which is used together represent the word landscape. In China, this concept is called Shen Shui, mountain water. Sometimes we draw the picture of mountain and water flowing out of it. That is we normally call it as mountain water, which used together represent the word landscape, and we develop a landscape. More than two elements of an image, these represented two complementary poles, reflecting the Taoist view of the universe. In this painting Shen Shui, there are two complementary pole ideas. Complementary poles, water and mountain. The mountain is young. In the Taoist philosophy, this mountain is described as young, reaching vertically towards heaven. It is always standing towards heaven. That means towards sky. जैसे पहाड़ होते हैं ऊंचे आसमान की तरह होते हैं. Heaven stable, रुके हुए होते हैं. Warm and dry in the sun. और warm होते हैं और dry in the sun, while water. और दूसरा complementary pole. Complementary poles means to opposite. पहाड़ होते हैं, रुके हुए होते हैं, ऊंचे आसमान की तरह होते हैं. While as the water is yin. Two ideas, yang and yin. Yang is mountain and yin horizontal. Yin जो है water, that is horizontal, जमीन पर फैला हुआ, and resting on the earth. Fluid, वो stable होता है, it is resting on the earth. Fluid, moist and cool. These are the properties. Yang की property है, that is vertical towards the heaven, stable, warm and dry. While as yin, water की property है, it is horizontal, resting on the earth, fluid, moist and cool. The interaction of yin, the receptive feminine aspect of the universal energy. In this Taoist philosophy, it is described as a feminine receptive aspect of universal energy. And it is counterpart yang. Another part is yang, active and masculine. जैसे पहाड़, पानी, masculine and feminine aspects, is of course a fundamental notion of Taoism. This is the basic idea, fundamental notion of Taoism. What is often overlooked is an essential third element. Besides these two elements, yang and yin, there is the third element, that is essential element, the middle void, where their interaction takes place. The space between the two, where these two meet with one another, water and mountain. That void, that space, void means the empty space. That is the essential part. But it is sometimes overlooked. Is an essential third element, the middle void where their interaction takes place. This can be compared with the yogic practice of pranayama. The author has compared this third void with pranayama, in which breathe in, retain, breathe out. We breathe in air, we breathe out and retain. When we retain, that is the time of meditation. हम हवा अंदर लेते हैं, सांस लेते हैं, सांस बाहर छोड़ते हैं, सांस रोक देते हैं. दिस इज द मिडल पार्ट. एट दिस मिडल पार्ट, इसी में जो वो तपस्या वगैरह वो होती है, meditation takes place. The suspension of breath in is the void where mediation occurs. The middle void is essential. Nothing can happen without it. Hence, the importance of the white unpainted space in Chinese landscape. Same is the case with unpainted portions in the Chinese landscape. That is unpainted, the third portion, the middle void. This is also where man finds a fundamental role. And at this place, man is essential. Man plays an important role in that space between heaven and the earth. He becomes the conduit of communication between both poles of the universe. He becomes the conduit. Conduit means channel. He becomes a channel of communication between this heaven and the earth. That means it is the man who has to shape this world in the desired direction. He has to play an important role. His presence is essential even if it is only suggested, far from being lost or oppressed by the lofty peaks. He is in Francois Xing's wonderful expression. And the place of man is essential, even though it is oppressed sometimes. In the words of Francois Xing, Francois Xing says, wonderful expression, the eye of the landscape. This third portion, this middle void, this is described as eye of the world, where from a person can view, he can shape, he can design this world in a desired direction. थैंक यू।